Hey guys, it's Convolva here, and this is the second episode of the Psytrance Collab from Scratch series that I'm doing with Vibration from Mexico. So this episode is going to be a little different than the previous one. This is basically a recording that I made for Boris in the initial period before we even thought of doing the series. So here's a look into the raw workflow during collaborations. So without further ado, let's get right to it.
Hey guys, what's up? What is Vibration here?
Hey guys, it's Convolva here. You're watching Psytrance Collab
from Scratch.
Hey Boris, how's it going? It's Convolva here, and this is the third video that I'm recording today because I recorded like 2 videos before this, and in one of them I forgot to hit the record button, and the other one I forgot to engage my mic, so there was no audio coming in the microphone. So this is my third attempt today at recording and showing you the progress of the track. So here it is. So I worked on the track today and took some of the elements which you sent in the morning and sort of created this drop section here. And then after that, I sort of worked on this intro, or not intro, I would say this is the break section, which includes the guitar and the arps and super saw, stuff like that. And then sort of progressed through the track, sort of connecting the dots here with this section here. And then I have another section which is like completely unrelated to this one, in which I have focused on the arps basically, and created sort of like a climax section, but I think more elements need to be there in this section. Apart from that, there is this section which is also completely unrelated to these. Actually, you know what? This section can actually be progressed from this section. So they're currently not linked, this and this. More work needs to be done in this section to actually make it relate to this section. So yeah, that's that. And then there is this other section which is unrelated to these two. I'm going to play through all of these. And then after I'm playing through all of these, I'm going to play through this other arrangement which is here. This is basically the work done based on the stems which you sent me the first day. And I did some work here with the arps and stuff like that. So I'm going to play this after I play the second arrangement, which is this one. So yeah. And after that, I'm going to talk a little about the elements which I added today. Like I added some basses here, I added some plucks and stuff like that. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin the playback. So that was the section I worked today, and then I'm going to play the other section which I mentioned. I only like some section here, like this part I like. I didn't work on this section actually, which I worked on in the previous video with the arps and everything, because I created the arps and I used it in the section which I played, later on. And riser needs to be worked upon, and yeah, so I'm gonna just play through this section as well. Alright, so these were the two sections which I wanted to share with you. And as far as this section is concerned with the triplets and everything, there's one particular thing I want to talk about, and that is this bell thingy which happens here right after riser. So I was thinking if there is a vocal or some person actually singing this kind of melody here, it would sound much better, I like to work with tracks which have a strong vocal, present in the track. So let's see if we can like add some kind of a vocal element here, in the same kind of MIDI following this kind of tune, because it sounds a bit playful as well, this one. As far as the bell is concerned, I think it's fine. I mean, the bell sounds good, and over here as well I've used the same sound here. So what I've done here is like the bells come here and it's like a question phrase basically. So I'll just rename it. And yeah, this is the question and this weird thing. Bear with my naming skills here, because while working, I just focus on the sound which is in my head, so I just type it out. But anyway, I'm going to rename it now as the answer to the question. So this is like the question. Oh, I misspelled question. So this is the question, and this is sort of like the answer element here. And it's actually just a mid bass. It sounds like this. And I have just cut the section here. There was some section here, but I removed it. So this is like the question and this is like the answer. I have also done some stuff here with the percussions here. I added a couple of percussions, and there's this resampled bass which I rendered out of Hammer into a sample. It sounds like this. Hang on. Yeah. So I generated it from this additive synthesizer called as Hammer, which is like native to FL Studio, and then created this wave file, sort of chopped it and moved it along the time and fit some parts of it into the timeline. And here we have this section here. Also, I added a hardstyle kick here, just to keep a flavor of it, not like adding too much of it. It's kind of very filtered, but it's layered. Also, I made the bass line a bit bouncy here in the answer phase. So it's like the bell or whatever phrase we have is going to ask the question and the bass line is going to go up and down. bass line is right over here. Sounds like this. Which is just a high pitched bass which you gave me, this one. So it goes like this. By the way, I have also added a layer, a separate layer of a bit crush bass. It's going left and right, so you hear a very stereo bass, but it's really a high pass version of a bass, and it's just a layer. So it sounds like this. Actually, wait, I think some elements are missing here. Let me see which elements are missing in the bass. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, so that's basically what it sounds like. And as I said before, like this element here with the bells, it can be changed and modified into something better than this if you can, but I think it's pretty fitting right now because it's kind of cute and kind of playful, you know, and I kind of dig that. Let me show you what it looks like. So this is the MIDI, and this is actually also an instrument. It's a synth, it's hammer again. And it's all because of what's happening here with the prism knob here. Yeah, so this is like the first part of the triplet section, and then I have also written another section here in the triplets, which is basically like a climax section, you know, with all the tunes and everything coming together. But I feel like more layering can be done here. It sounds like this at the moment. Also, I created this guitar section and made it into triplets, so it sounds like this right now. Wait. Which in this track sounds like this. It's just one layer. And I also converted the arps into triplets. It sounds like this. The ups can be even more modulated because it's a hammer instance, so I can even make the up go into a square bass sound. Currently it's a saw bass sound, so it sounds like this. Hang on, let me bring you to the screen. So this is basically the work, the signal flow. I can open up hammer and I can make it like this. So yeah, lots of fun can be had there because Hammer is pretty advanced as far as synthesis is concerned. It's a additive synth, so all of these individual lines which you see are individual harmonics of the sound that you're hearing, and it's individual sine waves which are activated by this plugin, and you have control over each one of them separately as if it were a unique oscillator itself, unique sine oscillator itself. So yeah, pretty intense. And yeah, this is the signal flow. It's basically, you know, some side chaining, sidechain delay, and okay, it looks like this. It's kind of confusing. So this is basically a sidechain delay, and then the original sound goes here, and reverb, transient processing, and some multiband compression, and some slight EQing. It's actually not even EQing, it's just filtering, removing some bass from it, and then back to FL Studio. So that's basically how the signal flow works of the sound. And then I made some bass sounds and stuff like that, like which I'll just play for you. Sounds like this. And then I resampled it for the first time in Hammer. It sounds like this. And then I did one more layer of resynthesis, and it sounds like this now. All of this has been rendered in Hammer again. I'm going to send these WAV files to you if you intend to work on this whenever you do. And we can use some of these like FX or even bass elements here and there. That's basically why I created this. Yeah, that's pretty much what sound design I did as far as the bass is concerned. Apart from that, I did some small elements here and there, like if you look here, you can see some of them. This is basically the same Hammer sound. And I just took some part of that and created this sound like this, and volume automation here with the kick. This is the sound that came with yours, and then there is this one. Yeah, basically some samples here and there. So yeah, that's that, you know. Let me know what you think about this, you know. If you think this is good, we can maybe build on this, and I can even send you stem files if you want to like work on this on your own. If you want, we can even do a TeamViewer session and sort of continue the work on this. Apart from that, there's one more thing in the intro, not intro, actually the break. You might have heard this guitar kind of sound. It sounds like this. I had this idea, what if we could do a drum section, like acoustic drums and with the proper bass guitar and stuff like that? Do you think that would sound good? Let me know what you think on WhatsApp. And as far as this section is concerned, I think it sounds pretty good how it progresses, you know, from here to here. Let me just play it once without the ARP because the ARP is kind of overpowering, but I like the sound of it. But I want to show you what it sounds like with just the guitars and super soft. Yeah, so that's that, and there are some extra elements here and there which I added, so not part of this. Let me just bring that. Here's a bass, a sidechain to the kick, you know, which happens sometimes. There's that, and then there's a super saw which I made again. Did I use Hammer for this? Oh no, I used silent one for this one. Okay, great. So sounds like this. Oh no, this is not the one. Actually, super saw. You know, we could do all kinds of crazy stuff with the MIDI. This is just to see whether this idea sounds good, you know, to have a super saw here or not. Of course, we can layer it with stuff like pads and SFX stuff. Actually, that reminds me, I did add one SFX here. Let me just get that. It's called Rhythm. Like, you sent me this rhythm guitar MIDI, right? I just used that guitar section along with this sound here. It's a plugin group which I made in Patcher, and it's also based around Hammer. This is how it looks like. Let me just play it in solo so you can see what it's doing in the track. It's all harmonized with the chord progression that we have in this track, which is C, G, G sharp and A sharp. It's what we've got here in the MIDI of this patcher file. If I open this, you can see it's going from, oh, it's some D sharp or something. Why is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, no, it is C. It's just an inverted chord. Okay, fine. Anyway, it does not matter because it's not like a very harmonizing sound in the first place. It's more like a effects in the background, and as I said, we can, you know, always keep adding more of that. So let me know what you think. I think I'm going to stop the video here, and yeah, let me know what you think in WhatsApp. See you there. Alright guys, that's it for this episode. The next episode is going to be on Vibrations channel. So I might put a video or a post for you guys to get a notification as to when that one is uploaded. So don't forget to subscribe to him as well. The link is going to be in the description. Thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, then consider hitting the like and subscribe button.